Hello, welcome to Blindpomegranatetarot. I am Christine. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad you chose to join us. And if you're not new here, welcome back. How have you guys been? It's been crazy at my house. But, you know, Pluto's in retrograde, so we're working on our inner power. But that's not what we're here for. What we're here for today is we're doing a follow-up to our Tuesday Spiritual Brew Talk, where we were talking about, well, my family, my ancestors. So what I thought would be great is if everybody's going through a real tough time right now. I don't have to tell you that. And it has been for more than a year. So I thought, you know, whenever you're having a hard time, who do you go to? You go to somebody with some wisdom, some knowledge. You go to your ancestors, your elders, right? So I thought, let's do that. Let's go to our ancestors, or let's go to the ancestors in total. Because these may not be your specific ancestors, but they are beings that have lived a human experience, just like you and I are going through right now. And they would have had their own difficulties. So what we're going to ask them is, what did they learn in their lives that we can apply to ours to make our journey a little easier right now? I think we could all use that. So I'm hoping that this is going to be very positive and uplifting, give you a little boost, maybe remind you of something you've forgotten, and with it we can all grow. Because I do this for myself as well, secretly on the side. I do it for myself because it helps me to remember things that maybe even I've forgotten. So let's explain here. We have 3 piles and they all look identical. They're little butterflies. I'm going to show you what they are exactly in the end because I'm a little weird and the littlest things make me happy. But we have 3 piles. Group 1, 2, and 3. So what I'm going to ask you to do, and I do this every time for those of you who are new, is to help you to sit back into your intuition. What we're going to do is we're going to do a little deep breathing meditation. Just for a second. It helps a lot, I promise. So what I ask everyone to do is put their feet flat on the floor, put their hands in their laps with their palms up. What this will do is root you to the earth and open you to the universe. Okay, so that you can sit back into your intuition and pick the pile that's just right for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a deep breath in through our nose for 5. We're going to hold it at the top for 2. And we're going to push it out our mouths for 3. And what that's going to do is bring in new energy and push out the old. So you can have a clear vision of which pile is just right for you. So let's start that right now. Okay, you can do that as often as you need, but let's run through some ways to help you choose which pile is right for you. So you can run the numbers through your mind. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and see which one sort of stands out for you. In the description box below will be timestamps for each pile. So maybe there's a number in there that resonates for you. Maybe you can see auras and one of these groups has an aura on it that is appealing to you. Or maybe you can see them resonating, sort of breathing or shifting. That's a way of picking as well. Or, and this is something a little different, but if you are synced into this reading, as I am with it, then we are synced together. You can close your eyes, sit back into your intuition, take a deep breath and ask me, say, hey Christine, which one is right for me? And see if I don't come through. You don't know. You never know. It could. So, when you're ready, check the timestamps below and I'll see you at your reading. Okay? Bye guys. Hello, Group 1. Welcome to your reading. So, for those of you who are new here, let me explain how I work. I work a little bit differently. I am legally blind, visually impaired, and I have a lot of friends that are as well. And so I will lay out the cards and then run through them all so that those who cannot see it can hear it clearly and participate equally. Also, this gives me a moment to sit back and meditate on the cards and pull forward the information I got from a meditation download about this reading. So today we are asking the ancestors, not necessarily yours, but all ancestors who have lived this human experience before, so for some advice about well, our uncertain times that we live in, and any advice that might help you to maneuver through it. So, as I promised, I forgot to show you guys in the introduction about your little butterfly here. This is something that came in a gift, and they were all wound up, and when you opened it, the little butterflies flew out, so I thought I'd show you guys. It's the little things that make me happy. If you twist him up like that, you let go, and he flies away. Better than that, but you get the idea. So, now that we've done that goofiness, let's move on. So I'm going to start at the top, and I'm going to read through them, like I said, and we'll see where we go with this. I did get some very clear messages when I started to run through the cards, but I'll let you know what that is. So your very first card is Temperance, and this is in the tarot, okay? And then you have the Six of Wands. I find it really interesting. It's got the little butterfly there as well. And then you have the Hierophant. Those are your 3 tarot cards at the top. And then moving on to the right, we have Protection Guardian. Choose your path. That was interesting. Under that, we have, hope you can see these, Obsidian Walls. It says, I am protected. And then from the Past Lives deck, which of course we're talking to the ancestors here for advice, and it says forgiveness, which I find very interesting. Some very specific advice for you. And next to that, this is Sacred Self-Care, and it says flow with the water. I'll get back to that. It's very interesting. And then finally, we got the Web Weaver. Synchronicity, divine intelligence, cause and effect. Okay. So immediately when I got the Temperance card, I heard be straight, be direct. Okay, that's a little bit off from what Temperance is, but I'm telling you what Spirit is telling me, okay? In other words, be balanced. Be direct in how you act, how you see, how you feel about the world around you and what you're going through right now and how things look towards the future. Be balanced and direct, okay? There's a lot to me that I'm hearing here about being straightforward, about being honest, about expressing yourself, forgiving yourself for anything that may be weighing on you. The Six of Wands talks about a rebirth, talks about sort of rising from the ashes, rising from, you can see the wands here are sort of a mess, right? They're all knotted up, but this is you flying out of it and bursting forth and being the beautiful butterfly. That is what this card means. So what I'm hearing here, of course, here's the Hierophant, and the Hierophant is really sort of the knowledge, okay? The knowledge of all, the one who understands, the ancestor, if you will, has gone through it, has understood it. So in 2 ways, this could be talking about yourself, or it could be talking about if you have something that you need help for, find someone who is, or go to an elder, right? Someone in your life who's older, who's lived a long life, who understands all of these things, and they can give you great comfort and say, you know what, that this too shall pass is not just a saying, okay? It actually is the truth. But this is telling me here that you are absolutely going to rise above it, that you are going to blossom and be reborn from it. I know that the last year and a half has seemed very stifling and very shut down, and we don't know where we're going, and so we have a tendency to want to just stay stuck in one place. But this is telling you, be direct, go forward, find your path, and continue on, because this too shall pass. And if you need to, find someone. It's amazing when you sit down and you talk to someone who's been through a lot, right? We spoke about this in my spiritual brew about my family. When you find someone, you know someone who's been through a lot, they can give you a perspective on life that is unique to them, unique to the world, because they've seen things a lot worse than what we're going through right now, and can show you, tell you, lead through example how to get through and past it. And then, of course, rise above it and be reborn again. I think that's beautiful. And find a new path. Find the path that will lead you out of this. And then trust in that. Go with the flow, okay? Water is cleansing. Water is constantly moving. Water is never stagnant. And if it is, what happens? It becomes rotted. It becomes diseased. So what this is asking you to do is continue moving forward. Ask for advice for someone who's been through something much worse than we have, right? And listen to their advice. Listen, find yourself a hierophant and listen to their advice. If you're feeling stuck right now, okay? If you're feeling like, well, where are we going next? Because none of us really know that for sure, right? If you're feeling that you don't know which direction to go in, and you don't know which way the water is flowing, and you need to have someone to guide you, be direct. Go direct, okay? Follow what you already know, because you're obviously set to bloom out of this, okay? And choose the path that's, if you need to, baby steps. Choose the path that's right directly in front of you. But the point here is start walking. Start going. Start moving again. I know that it's been very comfortable for us, and I'm guilty of the same thing. It's been very comfortable for us to sort of just stop and wait and hold and not go anywhere and see what's going to happen. But that's not going to get you anywhere, and it's not going to progress you through life. And this right now, what we're going through, is a life lesson. For you, the lesson here, okay, you have something, some sort of forgiveness. Maybe you need to forgive yourself for holding back. Forgive yourself for sort of freezing in place. But know that when I heard direction, and of course we have the water here, go forward. Step into it. One baby step at a time, if that's what you need to do. Pick a path that is straightforward. Pick a path just one foot in front of the other, okay? It will lead you someplace else. It will lead you out of this. Sit and talk with someone who's older, a grandparent or an aunt or an uncle or a stranger, and say, this is how I'm feeling about this. What did you do? What in your life kept you going? What pushed you forward? What helped you to flow out of this? What kept you direct? And take that advice, but take it one step at a time. One itty-bitty step at a time is going to get us all through this. But this is the advice of the ancestors for you. No need to stand still. Flow as the water does. Freely. It just does. It just goes. I know that it's a little bit scary right now, especially since we don't know which way we're going, but this is telling you you're there. You're ready to bloom and be reborn from this. Ask for guidance on how to do that if you need to. Ask your spirits. Ask your guides. Which direction do I go into? But don't stand still. When we stand still, the water becomes stagnant and diseased. Keep going. One step at a time. You'll get there. You will. This is what they want for you. Be direct, I think, is the main message. Pick your path. Be direct. And keep going. Just don't stop. Don't stop and become stagnant. Keep going. It's there. You're ready to bloom from it. You're ready to be reborn from this. I love that. I hope that helped. I do. I think actually that's a message we can all learn from. I think it's a message we all need right now. That regardless of how maybe blocked our view is right now, taking one step at a time, pushing forward and being direct, going with the flow is going to help us all get back on track. We can hope, yes? But we can't do it if we don't try. If we stop and we wait, and we sit and we look and we hope and we wish, we're just going to become stagnant. Let's not do that. That's the message from the ancestors for you. One step at a time, but keep going. You're ready to bloom. Thank you very much for joining me, Group 1. Love and light. Bye-bye. Hello, Group 2. Welcome to your reading. So I have to confess, every time I do a reading, there's always one group that sort of, as I'm shuffling out the cards, I can just feel the resonance between this group of people and myself. And this is absolutely true in this context. Remember, what we are asking today is we are asking for some advice from ancestors, those who have lived this human experience before and can give us advice about what we're going through right now and what we have been going through for the last year or more now. And so this is very interesting because, well, I'll get into it. Let me explain first to those who are new here how I work. You can see that the cards are already laid out. I am visually impaired, legally blind, and I have a lot of friends who are as well. So what I will do is I will run through all of the cards so that everyone who cannot see that can hear it and participate as well. This also gives me a minute to lay out the cards and meditate on them and pull the information from the meditation download that I did for this reading. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Your very first card, we have 3 at the top, and they are tarot cards, and your first card is the 4 of Swords. The second card is the Father of Cups, which would be the King of Cups. And your third card is the 10 of Pentacles. What this is telling me right away, and actually, well, let me keep going, actually. Let me keep going, and then we'll come back to it so that we make sure everybody knows what we're all looking at. The next card you got is the Knight, K-N-I-G-H-T. Okay, it says, be brave and honest. And then you received Magnetic South Pole. Now this is from the Sacred Earth deck. And of course we're talking about life here on Earth and this human experience. And let me read to you what it says. It says, it is acceptable not to know. Mystery is a part of life. Acceptance always allows me to begin to grow. That's very cool. And then I pulled from the Past Life deck. And what you got was a High Priest or Priestess. And the fact that it's right directly underneath the King of Cups means something significant. We'll get back to that. And then the next card that you got is Abundance Planning. That may be a hint to you guys in this group. You may know exactly what I'm talking about. And then the last card that you got is the River Queen. Flow, letting go, natural movement. It's interesting. The first group had a lot of water symbolism as well. And you do here as well. That's very interesting. I think what the ancestors are saying is, listen, go with the flow. It is what it is right now. So go with the flow. Don't be stagnant. But what I got immediately is, do you see the little lamb here? Okay, on the 4 of Swords card, there are 4 swords pointing down at a little lamb, but the little lamb is very peacefully sleeping. Nothing to worry about. Not worried one little tiny bit about those swords. The King of Cups, very much an intuitive, a psychic, someone who is a medium but very in tune to their intuition. Okay. And then the 10 of Pentacles. Pentacles are very earth, very life as we know it. Okay. And the 10 of Pentacles is, it's been a struggle. It's been a struggle bus. You're getting there. But you've got your 10 of Pentacles and you're moving on, right? It's a forward movement. It's been rough. It's been a rough go of it, but you're being successful in it. This has to do with family. This has to do with home. This can do with work, that sort of thing. So take it as it resonates for you. And then the Knight. Be honest and brave. Be honest and brave, I think, mostly with yourself and what you're going through right now. What I see is that you have taken this last year, almost a year and a half now, and you have decided that you're going to go inside, that you're going to work on your spiritual growth, that you're going to research and find out about abundance, find out about who you really are, who your spiritual being is. I think that you have always been an intuitive, that is something that's always sort of lived inside of you, that you've always known this is there, but you've taken this time of forced introspection, right? And you've used it to grow your soul, and that's beautiful, and Spirit acknowledges that. The fact that you got the High Priest, where are you going? The fact that you got the High Priest or Priestess card just affirms that for me. But moreover, I think the ancestors are saying, hey, you know what? You've done this before. This is a past life card. I think that this is something you've gone through before. This introspection, of this understanding your intuition, of understanding the sort of mystical powers that you have in your soul, of understanding what abundance is and how to receive it and how to use it to benefit yourself in your Ten of Pentacles. So I believe that this is an acknowledgement that you've done it in a past life and that you're doing it again now. And that this time of solitude has been just amazing for you. That it has been this blossoming up, of growing, of bursting out, of rebirth, of who you truly are, who your soul really is. And acknowledging that. Maybe you were lost in the daily grind, right? And you have been able to take this time now to reinvest in yourself, right? Not just working all the time or being out and about and sort of distractions and that sort of thing. It has forced you to come back inside, as you have done in the past, and to recognize who you are, and that you are working towards your abundance, that's for sure. That you are understanding what that is and how to get it, how to use it, how to blossom from that abundance. A bit of advice here is just go with the flow. Go with what comes to you. Don't question it. I talk a lot about sitting back into your intuition and really understanding what your soul is telling you, what your life experience in this one and many other ones has done for you, and what that means for you in this one. And I think that the ancestors are definitely saying, hey, you've done this before, you know how to do this. This has been inside you all along. You know, you may not know everything, right? You may not know and understand everything just yet, but there's a magic in that. There's a magic in not knowing. One of my favorite things in the whole world is to come upon information and go, aha, that's what that is. And that's what they're saying you're doing here. Is that, would help if it was right side up for you guys there. That not knowing, there's magic in not knowing. It helps you to grow and blossom. But you know how to do it. Tap into that sort of ancient you, okay? And you're very calm. You're a very calm person in what could be sort of hectic and crazy times. You're the calm person in the room, right? You're the one that is the sleeping little lamb and is not worried about anything. And you've been able to take this time of uncertainty and blossom yourself. That's beautiful. You are definitely on a spiritual journey, that is for sure. But the ancestors are saying you've done it before and you'll do it again. And you'll get it just right. And from that, you'll be reborn. I love it. It's beautiful. Sometimes I need to hear these things myself too. So, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that. I did. This is a beautiful one. Oh, I almost forgot. You also had a Sacred Self-Care card. I almost forgot to give it to you. And it says ground yourself, which of course fits in perfectly. And I think that that's simply talking about meditation or being out in nature and tapping into those abilities that you already have, and do it through grounding yourself and being centered and quiet. That's when the answers come. Thank you very much, Group 2. I'm so glad and so nice to meet you, and I'm so glad you joined me today. Love and light. We'll see you next time, okay? Bye-bye. Hello, Group 3. Welcome to your reading. So, how are you today? You doing okay? So what are we asking about today? We are talking about, well, we're asking our ancestors for some guidance during our troubling times. What we're asking them is, what did you learn? What did you learn in your last living experience, right? This human experience that we're going through right now that can help us get through this, because of course we're not the only ones who've ever gone through hard times. Many generations have, and we're not the only ones. So this is very interesting. It's an acknowledgement and some advice as well. But I am going to, well, for those of you who are new, let me explain. Okay, you'll see I read a little bit differently. I am legally blind, visually impaired, and so I have friends that are as well. So what I will do is lay out the cards and run through them one at a time, explaining them, so that those who cannot see it can hear it and participate equally. This also gives me a moment to lay out the cards and pull from my meditation download just the right information for you. This one I think we're going to need to talk about and see what comes through as I'm going through this. It's very interesting, very different. So we'll start with the tarot cards. The first one that you got is the Emperor. It's a very strong tree with deep roots, the Emperor. And then the next one that you got, right? Pull this up here so everybody can see it. You have the Nine of Cups. After that, now this is interesting because each one of these readings has had a lot of water in it, and you have 3 cups here. It's very interesting. And the next one that you got is the Four of Cups. And then the last one that you got, now the other groups only got 3 tarot, but you had a 4th one come out, so I put that in there. It's the Seven of Cups. So let's start here with, well, let's move on. Let's go on to the next cards and then we'll come back around again, okay? And then you got Protection Guardian. Drop your shields. Now, I found that really interesting when I saw it, but we'll come back to it. And then from Past Lives, which would be the ancestor that we're talking to, it says ships. All right, so we'll come back to that as well. There is a story here. There really is a lot of advice here. And then you got the Temple of Aswan. And I'm going to read that to you. Now, this is from the Sacred Earth deck. And remember, we're talking about our human experience right here on Earth, so that's why I pulled from this deck. And it says, I am open to being mothered. I can mother. I can heal my relationships. I am the healer of and heal my imbalance. That doesn't necessarily mean that I'm talking to a woman here when it's not necessarily about giving birth, okay? So it's about birthing ideas and almost rebirthing yourself. And then you got the Queen of Light. Illumination, enlightenment, and celebration. Okay, so the Emperor is, well, intuitive. Okay. The Emperor sort of rules over the cups as well. The Emperor is stable and rooted, is strong and can't be tipped over. Okay, so is this a reflection of who you are, or is this a reflection of who you're working towards? The Knight of Cups is very abundant. Okay, it's very gifts are coming your way, and in this case I believe gifts of intuitive understanding and knowledge. The Four of Cups, and then the Seven of Cups. I see this as, let me sit with it for a moment, please. You've given up a lot. Oh, yes. Okay. You've given up a lot over the last year or so. A lot of family, a lot of friends, a lot of everything. I think we all have, of course, but in your case, I think I think that this has been significant. You've come all this way, and you feel very much like I've given everything up and gotten nothing for it. But that's not the truth. That's not the truth. You did it because you needed to. You needed to stabilize your life. That is for sure. You needed to treasure what you already have. You needed to recognize it, and then you needed to push away what you no longer needed. There may be some regret there, but I think what they're saying to you is, don't regret that. You did what was right. You did what was necessary at the time. And even now, you will start to see the blooming of that. What it's done is it's regrounded you back to who you really are, and regrounded you back to what is really important. Right? It's restabilized your roots by doing these things. I know it's been difficult. It's been difficult for everybody. But in your case in particular, I think the choices that you've made over the last year to release some things, hold more tightly to others, and to celebrate what you have that is important, okay? Not that which is socially acceptable, or how you should do life, or how you should run your life. That this actually has given you a view of what is the most important in your world. It has given you a sense of who you truly are, okay? A sense of who you truly are, a sense of who and what is most important, okay? And those in your life that are the most important. And the ones that have sort of broken away, fallen away, it was meant to happen that way. Has this opened you up for more and new and different things? It absolutely has. So don't have any regret about that. You did exactly, oh, my crown chakra is tingling. You did exactly what was necessary. And what this experience we're going through right now is changing so many people and bringing them such enlightenment about who they really are, and taking them down a real spiritual journey. And in your case, I think because you're a very stable person, that you broke off, okay? You broke off those things that you didn't really need. They had sort of enveloped your whole life and has kind of taken over, and you're noticing now that it's gone, I don't miss it. You know, it was forced out of your life by circumstances on this earthly plane, right? But it's what was best for you. It absolutely did rebirth you. Okay, that's where the mother card comes from. You're actually mothering yourself. You're rebirthing yourself. I think we're all going through some of that right now. I think we've all done that. But in your case, it's a great relief to you. I feel like at times you feel like you need to sail away. Oh, I gotta get out of here. I can't take it anymore, right? And there's nothing wrong with that feeling, and there's nothing wrong with that need to be alone. So you've also got a sacred self-care card, okay? And this one says chanting. Now that doesn't necessarily mean you need to go out there and chant at the moon or anything, right? But maybe song, maybe singing, maybe music is your thing. Maybe that's something that regrounds you and brings you back to center. Or maybe meditation, an Om meditation, or just repeating to yourself, I'm on the right track, I'm going the right place, and repeating it over and over and over again. Maybe you have a particular thing that you say to yourself every morning when you get up. It's going to be a great day, right? I am not going to let that little thing bother me. That is also chanting, right? That is also something repetitive that you say to yourself that keeps you going, it keeps you grounded, because I see that you are a grounded human being. You really are. So Spirit is acknowledging that. Do you need to sail away? Okay. Sailing comes in many different fashions, right? You can literally sail away, take a boat ride somewhere, or you can go for a walk. You can do whatever it is that recenters you. I think this is more about being recentered. Maybe you do need to plan a vacation. Maybe you do need to take the boat out and go fishing. Okay, maybe that's the answer for you. In these times where all of these things have happened to me and I'm exhausted of it and I need a break. So maybe that is what you need to do. Right? You can definitely socially distance out on a boat somewhere with a fishing rod and just yourself, right? So maybe that is the answer. Or maybe it's just taking a walk in a stream with your shoes off. Maybe that's your way of sailing away. Whatever it takes, however it works, keep yourself in balance. Okay? You can't be the rooted, strong tree to everyone all the time. Take a deep breath. Get out there and take care of yourself. Whatever that chanting is, maybe sing a song, listen to some music. That's chanting as well. But that, yeah, you've rebirthed yourself. You absolutely have. This is an acknowledgement of that. That, yep, all of these things have sort of broken away so that you can cherish what you actually have now. And that's the direction they want you to continue to go in. I think this is beautiful. And I think that's a beautiful piece of advice. Not to fear, not to worry that you lost some things. Everybody has. But you'll come to realize, if you haven't already, that those things that you broke off, that have broken and drifted away, that actually was a good thing for your life. And that's the lesson maybe for you that'll come out of this whole situation. And eventually it'll get better, and from here on out you'll be able to see what's really truly important in your life and be better for it. I think we all will be. But this is them acknowledging what's happened to you and how you've gone about it, and being proud of you. And proud of you sort of rebirthing your life and making it into what maybe it should have always been. Well, that was lovely. Thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it. This whole reading was wonderful because I took away a little something for myself as well. So I love that. If you are new here, I'm very honored to have met you, and I hope to get to see you again next time.